Alrighty, folks, here we are. Hiya, how are ya? We are here live another Wednesday night, another Project Healing Waters special. How's it going out there? We'll give it a few minutes, let people tune in, tune on, sit down, buckle up. We're going to have some fun tonight. I'm going to get my handy dandy whatever this is, so I can see the chat all the way over there at the bench. There we are. All right, Ben, good evening. Missed me, missed me. Lol. Oh, there is a comedian that talked about LOL and was like, oh, your generation thinks you have it all figured out. We had something even shorter, and it was called Ha. So, I don't know. But anyways, special treat tonight. Check this out. We have some new headphones. New headphones, new microphones, noise canceling, added padding. Hopefully for you the audio quality is better. I can't do anything to synchronize the audio and the video. I guess in order to do that, I need a better, faster computer, and this one is already at the maximum of the budget. So, all together, we've got this year, so far new for this year, 2020, we've got the new webcam, which you're looking at me now. We've got the new headphones, which is interesting because they're both Logitech, aka Loogie. That's what I call them. They're Loogie. Padded comfort, adjustable volume, left-sided mic can be better positioned, capture noise reduction, laser-tuned drivers, provide enhanced digital audio for music, games, and calls. Yodi-do. Anyways, pretty good, pretty good. And that's it. Anyways, yeah, so we're going to be spinning some deer hair. We're going to be stacking some deer hair. It's going to be messy. I tied one earlier, and I really rushed through it. It was a quick, fast, and in a hurry mouse, because to be honest, I mean, how often do you sit down and crank out a whole bunch of mice? Sorry, I got to get my thing plugged back in over here. There we go. All right, so Project Healing Waters special. You know, I was doing some thinking, moving about what we're going to do moving forward, and my conclusion is I have no idea. I'm not a grand thinker and not a grand planner and all this. And, you know, I was really starting to feel the disconnect, and I feel really distant from the group as a whole. I mean, I might see somebody here and there, but you know that group get together. I really miss that. I miss walking into a room and making the eye contact and seeing everybody. And you just don't get that over the interwebs. I mean, Zoom, Facebook Messenger, video chat, whatever you want to call it. It's just not the same. So, I don't know. Let's stop wasting time with the jibber jabber. Let's get on over to what we came here for, and that's to tie some flies. What do you think? What do you guys think of the new audio? Am I coming in clearer? Does it make a difference? Am I too loud, too soft? Let me know. Your feedback is the best kind of feedback I can get. All right, Dave Coleman is in the house. Good evening. You know what, Dave? Those bobbins. Actually, the one that caught my eye was the bodkin, and the bodkin that was beautiful. Dave does good work. What can I say? Well, I can say that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times or so. for the bobbins. But anyways, let's slide on over to the bench and see what kind of trouble we can get into. All right, close your eyes and get ready. This one's kind of a hot mess. All right, so this is a little mouse. I was going really quick and I just wanted to reacquaint myself with deer hair. I even kind of messed up on the ear on the bottom. But as ugly as this little sucker is, it'll work. I'll tell you that for free. So anyways, this is what we're going to be doing. If we need to adjust the zoom in, zoom out, just go ahead and drop a comment, drop a chat. And you guys are always more than welcome to chit chat amongst yourselves. If you see somebody in there, say hi. Ask them how they're doing. Hiya, how are you? Because I can only jibber jabber to a certain extent. I'm getting all my bits and bobs and ends together here. Gotta clear away that pile. All right, we are good enough to go. And the scissors go there and the razor blades. All right, so let's start this off. Guess what kind of hook I'm gonna use? I'm gonna come in with these Daiichis. There we go. That's the 2720, rolling in big with the 1/0. They make them bigger, they make them smaller, but this is what we're going with. At least for this one. There we go. It's a wide gap, quote, stinger hook. It's a light wire, which if you're tugging against a big old fish, it might be a slight disadvantage, but the lighter wire advantage is it's less weight. Uses: deer, hare, bass, bugs, divers, frogs, and mice. Oh yeah, and we also got the signal boost on new lighting. So if this lighting, I want your guys' feedback. Again, you know, if the lighting is too bright or too much, I can turn that light off, but I think it looks a little bit better. So there we go. Let's insert the proverbial tab A into slot B. All right. Bobbin, where did I put that bobbin? There it is. All right. I'm going to be using gel spun. This is 100 denier gel spun in black. And one disadvantage to gel spun is it can be a little slippery. So, you know, you can't just take a couple of bites. If it was a wax thread, that sucker would be locked in pretty tight already. But being the gel spun, it can be slippery. Not can be, it is. So we're just going to keep wrapping that tag in. And we're just going to lay a little thread base. And one thing I remember with gel spun, I don't want to use my razor scissors. Here we go. So I have not been out fishing recently. I've been participating in an online scavenger hunt. There's a whole list of items for me to complete, and I've done all sorts of things this week. Alright, well, there's our thread all the way to the rear. And I guess maybe on our next one, we could definitely try our hand at doing the, what do you want to call it? Oh, the weed guard. That's the word I'm trying to think of. Weed guard. Might try that. All right. So I've got a little rabbit strip. I'm going to use a rabbit strip for this tail. Last time on my quick one, I just stuck a piece of foam in there because it was there. Alright, we want to come in and do a little bit of a taper. And we're cutting the hide, not the hair. See how that gives us a nice little tapered end? Ooh, that's nice. Alright, mouse tail. How long do you think a mouse tail is? I bet you it's about at least its body length. Alright, that looks pretty good. And again, we're going to give that a trim. Just like that. And what we want to do is we're going to trim off this hair. And we'll just come in and do this in smaller sections. Trying to get it all at once might prove to be a little bit of an effort. And one disadvantage I think that we're going to have using the rabbit is eventually, after a little bit, this little guy is going to start soaking up and sopping up water. And that's some high quality H2O, and that's going to add what? It's going to add a little bit of weight. Alright, I think that's going to be a nice long, nice little tail. Give herself a little bit to tie into. And we're going to give it a little dab of insurance policy. And I'm going to be using some gel control glue. Just a little dab. Just a little dab of glue, yeah. You know where that's going to go? Nowhere. That's where. Alright, we got a tail. Alright, now we're moving on to the body. And like I said, this is a deer hair mouse. If I could find where I lost my deer hair. I swear my brain does this stuff to me about twice a day. You can hold on to something, you can touch something, you can even use it. And then poof, it's gone. And it's not like it could have gone far. Well, I'm seriously kind of like in a little panic here. Where did it go? It's the size of a postcard. It looks like deer hair. I guess I'll have to find another little batch. Hopefully this will work. So with our deer hair, if you really wanted to give it a lot of additional buoyancy and flair, what you could go with is a deer belly hair. But this is just going to be a regular body hair. And I don't know. Looks pretty good. Want some nice good length, and what we're looking for, which is going to give us the flare, is the hollowness of the fibers. So that's one thing to keep your eye open for. Alright, so I'm going to take off a small little pinch. And drop my bodkin. And when you have it pinched in your fingers, you know, there's a unit of measure that we like to use, and that's about a pencil's. How big of a chunk is that relative to a pencil? I don't know. About the same size. Alright, and what do we know about deer hair? We know it's messy, so let's go ahead and clean that out. Give it a little pinch and just start pulling that with your fingers. Give it a little twist. What that does is that kind of re-exposes more surfaces for you to clean out. If you have a little brush, perhaps a little comb, there we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with our bottom. Trim off my tips. Just get those out of the way. You know where those are? They're gone. Alright, so this is going to go on the bottom. I'm going to kind of lift my bobbin up with my finger. I'm going to split that hook. I'm going to go up and over once. Go up and over twice, nice and soft. And I want this to stay on the bottom side, so I'm not going to let it spin and flare around the hook. This is just where you'd want to, how do you say it, the mouse privates, the mouse hairs, that official unit of measure of mouse hairs. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know, I don't know, go ask Grandpa. He'll explain it. A little dab of glue, just a little bit of insurance policy under that. I like that. All right. Let's get our thread through that. What I like about the gel spun hair, or gel spun thread, is I can really get some tension on it. Alright, round 2. I'm really curious as to where that patch of deer hair is going to show up, because it's about that big. And how I can lose something the size of a postcard like that, I don't know. Then again, there was this time where my wife and I, we were at a antique store or something, and we found an old book, and it was just the right size, and it had just the right look to it. It's like perfect secret book. We can cut all the pages out and make it a cool little thing, and you know what I'm talking about. So we get this book, we take it home, and we lost it. Where did it go? Where's the book? Where's the book? I don't know. Another pencil's worth. Well, it turned out that the book, we set it on the bed, and at the time in our apartment, we had the single, we call it the single guy setup. When the bed is pushed up next to the wall, and you can only get to the bed from one side. Most married couples, they have it so you can get up on either side. But it was a small room, so we had the bed pushed up. And anyways, the book slid in between the bed and the wall and got wedged between the frame and the wall. And over the course of the, I don't know, 6-8 months, a year. Alright, we're going to stack this batch. Tips down, stack it, don't stack it, it's up to you. Stacking it will get a little bit more of a uniform look, a little bit cleaner. And we looked for that book for ages. And then it wasn't until, like, I don't know, we changed the sheets a few times even and didn't notice it. And it was one of those days, it's just like, I can't get that corner. But we found it and made an awesome little book, little Haida book. All right. This is going to be our first little back, part of the back. Give that a nice clean, just even up those tips, or the butt section. That's all going to get trimmed off, but it's nice to have a nice clean working area. Alright, pinch down on that nice and tight, and you know, I have to kind of ignore that because we're going to trim a lot of that off. But for now, we're going to set this on top, work our thread through there. We're going to go once, twice, and we're keeping it on top. Actually, we can work our thread forward through that. Alright, now all this butt section on top, we need to, you know what, I'm going to back that up. Nope, we're going to just send it. It's already down. I'm going to clear this all out. You don't have to get it all, but the more the better, especially on top. So I know Dave Coleman's been out fishing. Who else is fishing? I know I haven't had the pleasure. Perfect. Alright, we're going to do the same thing on top. Another round of hair. Alright, what do we got here? Jacob says, hey, I've been tying a ton of flies yesterday and today. I headed to the beach tomorrow morning. Gonna see what you can catch. Nice. I will be fishing tomorrow, some way, somehow. I think we need to coordinate a float trip soon for the group. That'd be nice. I had somebody actually send me an email, or not email, but sent me a message. Alright, let's go ahead and do that again. Give that a nice tight pinch, and we're going to clear this out. Yeah, the heat is something to consider. Not only is it uncomfortable for you, but it might be affecting the water temperatures. And the water temperatures are something you need to keep an eye on. Alright, here we go. We're going to get this one into our hair stacker. Tips down. Mostly. There we go. And like always, ladies and gentlemen, this is a way to tie a mouse. By no means is it anything I ever do the way, come heck or high water. Okay, we'll give that a little pinch on top. 1, 2. Keep it on top. I like it. Alright, we're going to trim the butt section here. So this is a perfect scenario I guess, of what not to do, the most pain in the butt way to do this, because right now my butt section and this section is the same length, and I really can't get too much of an angle on it without the risk of cutting into the good stuff, as they say. And this is definitely a pattern that you're not gonna want to rush. If you want it to look super pretty, I mean, I suppose you could just slam right through it, but what's the fun in that? So any of these hairs on the bottom that we can keep on the bottom, the better. In fact, let's add a small little chunk on the bottom, because as much hair as we add on the top, we're also going to want to add not quite as much on the bottom, because the bottom we're going to end up trimming. And that's what half of this fly all comes down to, is the trim at the very end. I just love how these come together. I think it's a fun pattern to tie. You get to spend a lot of time with deer hair. And this particular batch of deer hair I acquired from a gentleman at the VFW who also calls bingo with me, or used to, pre-COVID. I guess that's a time period now, right? We can say that. Pre-COVID. All right. You know, I'm just gonna put that in the stacker butt section down, just because I lost my grip. Just to kind of regain control of some of that. Not too shabby. Trim off the tips. Let's go ahead and get that underneath. Go over it once and twice. And again, we're trying to keep that flare. We want that all to be on the bottom. Here's another little handy tool. We can finally get to it now. That's our hair packer. And that's going to help us push our bunches back. Alright, and any of these oddballs that are intruding up here, we'll just give those a little encouragement to get away. Alright, another top coat. Another batch for the top. Let's go right here. Let's go. Part of the trick is to not grab too much of a chunk of deer hair, because there is such a thing as too much. And fortunately, unfortunately, you guys are just going to have to visualize what it looks like when I have that deer hair sit on my thigh when I go to trim it off. It seems to be a nice natural trimming position. I'll show you guys once here on the next batch as to how I do it. It's one of those things, you know, when I sit here and I teach and I show you guys this and that, there's a lot of things that, or not a lot of things, but some things that I may do that just happen, just come second nature. And I might not take the time to explain it because I might have done it 1,000 times or whatnot, and this might be your first time seeing it. All right. All right, this time we're going to trim this down just a little bit shorter. And see now that this time, unlike I did last time, I left the butt section, I trimmed it down a little bit shorter, so now I can access that a lot easier. And in the end, this is not going to be a showroom fly, at least not by me. I'm not one of those who spends too much time spinning deer hair flies. They take a long time to tie, and especially early on, they take you so long to tie, and then you take it out and fish it once, and bam, it's gone. Because you caught it on a tree or a pike snatched and grabbed. There's one of a million reasons why. Alright, so what I'm doing with my bodkin on my deer hair, basically I come at a perpendicular and then I lift a whole section up. And then from there, and we'll be able to figure out how big of a clump I have pulled out. And then a nice close cut to the hide. Because the closer you get to the hide, the longer hair you actually end up with. Set that there, and that's it. Bada boom, bada bing. We'll grab these by the tips and clean, clean, clean. What's that Benny Goodman song? Sing, sing, sing. Boo ba doo boo 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 boo. I need some fresh music, some background music, because my sleepy piano that I got tickling in the background, I don't know, if you ask me, it's getting kind of stale. Let's go, this will be our, do another top side. Here we go. Fantastic. And that's more or less the trick. That's, sometimes I'm kind of remembering how to tie as we go through things. And we'll just work our thread right through there. That'll be a good time to drop one on the bottom. See, the thing is with YouTube, I have to be careful. Some Beethoven or Mozart. That's what we could look into. Because it has to be copyright free, royalty free, or somebody has to give me permission. So if we know any musicians that want to lay down some tracks for me, I'd be more than happy to throw them in. And you get the credit, of course. In the description. I like some Mozart. I love some Beethoven. I am one of those that's with the thought of the best composers are decomposers. So there we go. All right, well, we got 9 of us tuned in tonight. Let's do some highs, hellos, some, as they say in the biz, some shout-outs. Let me know where you're from, if you want to let me know. I mean, there's no pressure. But I'll do the special message. Somebody wants me to leave a special message. All right. Hello and welcome. A little bit more. There we go. And I'm really packing this in tight. I mean, I don't know. All right, we got Sean Brooks in the house, Coastal, North Carolina. Look out, we've got a high pressure system coming in today, ladies and gentlemen. You'll want to look out. Void where prohibited, not available in all stores. Also, another word of caution is as you start tying these little deer hair mice, you start doing this. Don't forget, you got a little sharp guy hanging out down there. And look at this, I got a little cork ball. Look at that. Out of sight, out of mind. And guess who is not, well, might not bleed today. Alright, what did we do? We need to add a little bit on the bottom. So anyways, the deer hair that I'm tying with, my buddy at the VFW knows I'm a fly tyer. And he knows I'm always looking out for deer hair and such like that. And a few years ago he goes, hey, my old man and I each got one. Got a couple. So I picked them up and I worked on them and I cleaned them. and processed the hide, and it was a lot of work. We got the bearded outlaw, Nova Scotia. Outstanding. How's the weather in Nova Scotia these days? What's your latitude? How far north are you? See, I'm one of those weird people. I can tell, not I can't tell, but I can visualize latitude in my mind's eye. I can see we're going to go underneath. That's what we're going to do. So we don't have to stack. No stacking if we are just going to do that to it. Right underneath. Once and twice. And flare. And flare. It's got to be beautiful in Nova Scotia this time of year. I bet. All right. More hair. What do you know? We're going to do a batch up top. Boy, I don't know how many of these we're going to get through tonight. We might just tie this one fly and be done. Maybe not. We might get 2 in. And again, I'm kind of more or less taking my time. I'm not trying to hurry through this, but warm and humid in the Nova Scotia. Got a little pinch, little twist. I learned the pinch and twist method from Kelly Gallup. If you guys want to learn some things about materials, check out Kelly Gallup's, I don't know what his YouTube channel name is, the Slide In, Kelly Gallup Slide In. That's the name of his campground. Alright, tips down. And again, like I said earlier on, stacking is up to you. And to be honest, by the end of this, my knuckles are pretty stiff. Beat up on myself tying these. Because you spend so much time just gripping and holding on to your deer hair for dear life. You get it? Hanging on to the deer hair for dear life. Oh, come on now. Dum-dum. Really want to get that trimmed off and back on the top side. Because that's where we're parking all that pretty hair. I think we might be due for some ears. Maybe one more pack. I think so. So has anybody ever tied flies and then accidentally walked away with the material, brought it into the other room and lost it? Because that's where I'm guessing my AWOL deer hair went. I think I might have just had it on me, held it in my hand. Another one. Who else has little tiny bits of flash? Who else finds, you may not find it all the time, but every now and then, who finds a little bit of flash somewhere where you would not expect to find a little bit of flash? Because sometimes a little bit, it gets stuck on the bottom of your sock or shoe or whatever, bottom of your foot, and you carry it around. I was doing some weeding the other day and I actually found a little bit of flash out in the front yard. It's like, what is going on? That's what I'm talking about. I think that'll work. Alrighty, let's do some ears. And what do I want to do? I am going to find some foam. We're going to do some foam ears. Alright, a little offcut. This is a little scrap from some hoppers. And we're going to just kind of shape that into a little ear. And really adding ears is for us, not the fish. Fish don't care if it's got an ear or not. But this will also add just a little bit of added floatability. Alright, those are kind of thereabouts the same size. This one's just a tick too big. We almost want it to be kind of like a ping pong paddle. Right, we're tracking a little ping pong paddle there with a short little stubby handle. Then we'll take the other one. be alright for me. Let's give that a little squeeze back. Boy, that's about it. We're going to have a tiny little face on this guy, but that'll be alright. Yeah, now we're going to spin. Okay, a couple more. Probably get 1, maybe 2 rounds into this. And because we're spinning, we don't need to pack or stack, or we're not going to stack, we will pack. Well, we'll just take our time, clean it out. Just a little bit too much. I'm going to even these tips back up. I know. I wasn't going to use the stacker, but... Alright, dog. Dave's got to run. Thanks for tuning in, Dave. We'll catch you next time. I'll give you a call here in the next day or so. It's just been a super busy week for me. Alright, let's spin this. We're going to set this on top. Get the camera back inside. Once, twice, and then we spin. And when it stops spinning, it's done spinning. It's spun all that it will spin. Okay, let's do another little round. So when you see these little mice hanging out at the fly shop and they got a price tag of Lord knows how much, now you know why. These mice take a few minutes to chug your way through. Unless you're a sweatshop somewhere. But I'm sure they take just as long in the sweatshop to chug through, but you gotta work twice as hard to get to your quota. Or maybe they just have lower quotas. I don't know. I don't buy flies often, but when I do, it's more or less just to really serve as a sample, as Exhibit A, something to keep my eye on or try to replicate later when I get home. Or it's just a hot pattern right then and there and it's got to be purchased ASAP. There you go. The only way to get good, to get better at spinning deer hair, practice, practice, practice. The only way, it's just the only way to get better at fly casting, time on the water. You can practice, in your backyard, but as you know, there's entirely different dynamics between backyard casting and having water tension, surface tension, and all that jazz. See how that just pushes gets my thread right up there. And I like that. So let's just go ahead and give this a lip finish. Alright, now before I cinch that, pinch that shut, that gets a little dab of glue. That's the thing with the gel spun. Is like I said at the very beginning, it can and will be slippery. Alright, there we go. That's phase 1. I think we did alright. The proof will be when we're all trimmed up. But that's our mouse pre-haircut. What do you think? Nice little fuzzball, huh? Alright. Who's ready for some fun? I'm ready for a sip of coffee. What do you think? Alright. We need razor blades. Caution, these razor blades are not only are they sharp, they are what I would call stupid sharp. Alright, so I've got this nice little tool. Check this out. It's just like holding it with your hands, but you're not holding it with your hands. So I'm going to flip my mouse upside down, nice kind of shallow curve. And swoop. I think I got... Now we can get rid of that. Nice sharp blades. That's the only way to do it. If you try to come here with the dull blade, the hair is just going to laugh at you. And the trick is to get down nice and tight to the hook without cutting down too far into cutting that thread. Alright, that'll work for the bottom. I'm going to curve this up a little bit. Look at that. Oh, that's nice. But remember, it's still a razor blade and it's still stupid sharp. And we'll clean up the butt section there. I'm going to go a little shallower of a curve. It just seems a little extreme. Right up to the ears. And once you get the initial kind of big pieces off, then you can kind of start to see the shape. And unlike the hair on your head, this stuff does not grow back. So once it's cut, there's no going back. And I think 90% of this is for the whoever's holding the credit card when they're buying it. Alright, let's clean this up back here. We're almost there. So one of the tricks that I've learned, rest your left hand or your non-dominant hand on your vise and use that to steady as you go. Be precise as you can when you need it most. So there that is. Let's give that one last little kind of tag with the brush. Switch blades. There we go. I think if I stop there, I'll be alright. Alright, last but not least, I like mice with eyes. So let's do that. Let's get some eyes. And what better than to throw some beady little eyes? So way back in the day, I bought a thing of eyes off of, was it Wish or Alibaba or something dirt cheap. And yeah, I got a million of them, sure enough, but they are a lot smaller than I expected. But I think this will be just about the right size. Alright, let's find our glue. There it is. A little dab of glue. Again, this is a gel, Loctite gel. And I'll measure the eye here in a second after I get one of these glued on. A little dab of glue, just a dab of glue, just a tiny little dot. Ooh, Mr. Mouse. Almost looks like a hedgehog, too. There you have it. And I suppose if you wanted, you could throw some little whiskers in there. Let's see, what could we do for whiskers? I don't think I have... Oh, I guess I could glue a little moose mane. Where's the moose? Muskrat, mink, squirrel, here's elk, moose. That's elk. Yes, that's the sound of me rifling through bags and bags. Alright. I think it should get him a couple of whiskers. We'll do 2 on either side. And the whiskers don't last long. What are we thinking? Couple of casts, couple of fish. It's gone. Poof. Alright, let's get that out. Looks good. You're not gonna believe this. Here we go. Nice big long whiskers. Let's line up the tips. Make sure I got about the same length again. go. Ahoy. I guess that would be kind of a big whisker, but... Oops. That one didn't quite get a chance to settle. I guess we could cut that down just a little bit. Because that's about the size of a cat whisker. Who here has tied a fly using a cat whisker? Break that one off. I may or may not have tied a fly or two with a cat whisker. All right. There's the cap. Salvador, it's a dolly mouse. Nice, I like that. I like that. Kind of curl them up. So there you go. That is more or less how I do a mouse. What do you think? That one was fun, huh? Ooh, oofta goofta. Questions, comments, concerns, how we doing? We might have to take a quick break here. And maybe we'll just experiment with spinning of deer hair. Because, I mean, we could literally just spin the whole thing. Well, no, you don't want to spin the whole thing because we want the top hair to have the tips. If we were to just spin, that's what we would get to trim that off. Or you'd end up with a little bit. Anyways. So the difference between what I just tied... And here is a store-bought. Here's a store-bought friend. Very similar. This one's a little bushier. But like I said, you know, I haven't tied... You know what? It's a lot bushier. I need to step up my game. It's on a maybe a 2-aught. But I don't know. That is a big difference in size. You know what? Next time I tie this, I'm definitely going to have to go bigger and bushier. Tail length about the same. So I don't know. Josh, you like it. You've tied a mouse before. You actually did a really good job on your mouse. Did it take you an hour and 15 minutes? Probably did in half the time. It would have some good coffee. Love a good dark roast. So we got, what, 40 minutes to kill. I don't know. I'm going to take a quick pause for the cause. We need to think about what we want to tie next week. So I'm going to take a quick break. Say hi to my wife. She just got off work an hour and 16 minutes ago. So, yeah, I'll be right back. We're going to take a quick pause for the cause. I need to stretch my back after tying that. So stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back. We're going to going to do something after that when we come back. Stay tuned. All right, we are back. Let's get my camera flipped back on. So what do we want to do for the remainder? What, we got 40 minutes? What do we want to do here? Let's just practice spinning some deer here. Let's think. Let's think. Let's think. Let's think. We'll try a little Minnie Mouse. We'll do a Minnie Mouse. How about that? Let's do that. I see a small little hook over yonder, and we'll just help ourselves to it. I don't know. Why not? We'll tie a little Minnie Mouse. We'll tie this on a size 6 Gamakatsu B10. I don't know why, but something's telling me to do this. A little Minnie Mouse. And sometimes, you know what? That could be a good thing. It can be a good practice. You know, you start, I don't know, big or small, one way or another. You know, just the size differential of scaling everything down to a smaller scale. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? We should definitely... We'll zoom in a little bit more on this one because it's just a little bit smaller. And we're going to tie this one just a little bit quicker. Because it's not going to be as big. There, don't you know? I think that looks pretty good. Let's see here. All right. Same thread though, smaller hook. And this one shouldn't take quite as long. We're actually going to switch it back and go to the foam, little foam tail. So one of the things that you also want to keep into consideration is adding floatant. Alright, let's do a little mouse tail. I suppose we can always cut it down just a little bit smaller. Yeah, let's do that. Boy, that was a lazy move. All right. Yeah, we're going to start with our first piece underneath. And I'm going to go with smaller clumps of hair. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's add a little dab of glue. Buoyancy, yep, that's right. Just want to get my thread forward once. Get a tight bite around the shank. All right, there we go. That's just amazing. I love working my way down a patch of deer hide. Alright, so we got about 7 of us watching. We'll do a quick question, pop quiz. Not a pop quiz, but like a survey. What platform or what device are you using to watch this live stream? Are you on a smartphone, watching on a computer, or do you have it broadcast to a television of sorts? How big is the screen? That's what I'm getting to, I guess. Or if you're watching this after the fact, as a YouTube video. Let's see you. Laptop at the tying table. We're on an iPhone. When I watch most of my YouTube videos, not my YouTube videos, because, I mean, to be honest, if I watched my own videos, I'd be a little, I do refer to my videos for references, but I really don't sit down and watch a whole live stream. Or if I do, I just kind of zip right through it. Alright. Let's add another one up top. No. Okay, that's in there pretty good. Yeah, we'll go underneath. No, we're gonna go on top. Go on top. Ken, good evening, good morning. How's Japan today? Ken's been out fishing, and that's pretty cool. I am super, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to say I'm jealous of your little fishing adventures, but man, someday I'd love to get out there. I just like the style. I like your guys' style. You're sleeping under the stars, and you're just out there enjoying nature as it's to be intended. Wait, we're going underneath. No? I was gonna go on top. No. What was I doing? I was gonna go underneath. Hey, what am I doing? So I'm gonna unstack that by stacking it the other way. Because we're gonna trim the tips off. Because we want to, down there at the base of the hair is where you're going to get the most flare. Most flare for your dollar. Let's add a batch for the top. Very hot in Tokyo today. The rainy days were over. So you can see the moon and the stars in the heavens above. One of the things that I enjoy is on my phone, I have an app that lets me know when the International Space Station is flying above. Day or night, but I can only see it at night. And it only, I don't know, sometimes you can see it for just like, I don't know, just a few minutes as it flies over the horizon. Now we're going to go tips down because this is going to be... Get a couple of wraps on it, and I just kind of mash it around. Yeah, buddy. Ouch. Alright, we're going to go underneath and then another round on top. So because this is going on the bottom, no stacking necessary. But of course, we still have to clean. Because the more junk you get out of the way, the more compression you get, and the more better everything is. Bada boom, bada bing. Alright, we're going underneath. It's all about just kind of like that 1-2 pull, and then I'll flare it. I'm still pinching down on it. Back up top. Boy, that pushed it back. Alright, you know what? I'm just going to add nothing. I'm going to add one more little bit on top because I like where we're at the bottom. One more little bit on top, and then we're going to do our ears and be awesome. When we're done, I'm going to show you the mess we made because it's a hot one. It's a hot mess. What can I say? So what are we going to tie next week? What's on the docket? Are we going to do more deer hair? Or do we want to do something small? I kind of want to do... I don't know. Let's do something smaller. Let's do a non-bass fly. Let's pick something on the smaller spectrum. What do you guys think? That's a good panfish fly we might want to tie out. Did we do Timberwolf? We did Dirty Hippie Matuka Fly of the Day, FOD. We should do a Timberwolf. Little squirrel tail. What's something with squirrel tail? We did a muddler not too long ago. But when I say not too long ago, we've been at these live streams for, this is what, week 18? Yeah, so there's our muddlers. I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Week 7. Check the playlists. I do have all playlists are saved. Or I try to get all my videos on playlists. So if you backtrack into the Project Healing Waters playlist, you'll find Ye Muddler Minnows. But I love a good muddler. You know, I kind of don't like that little void. Abort. Need to get our thread back just a little bit further. Alright, we're going to try that again. I'm going to pick up the pace. Without sacrificing quality. A bit of a large room sound. A little bit of an echo, huh? Maybe? I know I hear an echo. It feels like I'm in an echo chamber. But that's because I'm monitoring what I'm saying and overall volume. I mean, I guess I could turn that all the way off. How's this, Ben? Is this any better with the volume all the way off? But when I have the volume all the way off and when I don't monitor myself, sometimes I forget if I have the mute button pressed or not. But we don't want that. I need a bona fide technician staff. That's what I need, really. also when I have my volume turned on my headphones, then I can hear our music in the background. But we're experimenting here, all right? All right, we're going to trim you down. Let's go right here. All right, one last push. Yeah, oh, it does sound better. Okay, well, I guess moving forward, I'll uh, I'll keep my sound off and take everybody's word for it that I'm coming through. All right, you know what? I'm not even gonna bother with. Just gonna glue my ears in after the fact. Let's do that. So we're just gonna go right into spin mode. Let's do that. We'll just spin ahead and then we'll glue our ears in. Or, ooh, I got an idea. We'll just glue them in now because I don't want to take up any real estate tying them in. So we're gonna cheat a little. We're just gonna come up with some teeny tiny little ears. We're just gonna glue on. It'll be all right. I'm shaping them real quick. Yeah, 2 little ears. 1, 2. Yeah, we might as well get a brighter thread on it. I don't know why I'm trying to take a shortcut. We just need to not take a shortcut. That's one ear. And we'll put the other ear right about there. Alright, I'll give that another little compression back. Alright, now we can start spinning our hair. Alright. We're always constantly trying to improve our game here. It's been a slow evolution. If you go back to some of the earliest YouTube videos I created, oh boy, I mean, I wasn't even that good of a fly tyer, but you know what? I wanted to record the videos for myself, and I figured, you know what, I might as well just share them with everybody. Because that's the way I roll. I was super excited to move into my room down here and set up my little bench when we bought the house. This was definitely one of those things that was in the consideration when we bought the house, is where do I tie my flies? Once it's done spinning, like we said before, it's done. It's done spinning. clump. Sometimes you can get 2 clumps, 3 clumps. I guess it all really depends on the size, but you know, it's always a good practice of proportions. You know, we went with 1/0 was our first one, and I think we tied it kind of small for a 1/0. I think we definitely could have went bigger with that, but it's like the year 2020. Hindsight, it's going to be a lot better when it's behind us. Alright, let's give this a trim off. Here we go. Two wraps, starts to flare, and that's it. And that's how you know you're getting a good flare is you'll get a couple good turns on it, and then it just stops. It just stops spinning. Period. I mean, it's done spinning. I don't know what else to say about it besides that it's done. It's donezo. And I think that's going to be it. So let's just go ahead and do our whip finish. I feel like I'm capturing a little bit of extra in there, but it is what it is. Before I cinch this up, I'm going to add just a little dab of Loctite on there. Doesn't take much. Alright, we'll give that a trim off. And then we're going to give this a quick haircut. We're not going to spend too much time. We only got about 5-10 minutes left. 9 minutes or so. Alright, let's pick everything out just to kind of get it oriented. So yeah, there you go. That's our mouse. Alright, just like we did before, we're going to start by trimming the belly. Alright, that's our start down there. Alright, we're going to flip our blade over. And we're going to tighten that up. I guess really the trick is trying not to take it all off at one swoop. Good, nice, fresh, clean blade. New blade. See, I got my ears a little low there. We'll get it. We'll be all right. I think that'll be all right for that. And we'll just trim all that back. But yeah, you guys get the gist of it, right? That's a lot of fun. Just a little bit tighter up front we want to go. All right. Let's get some eyes. I guess we'll go with the same eyes. I don't have anything much smaller, so it'll have to do. A little dab of glue. Here we go. And one more for the other side. Small little dab of glue. Just like that. I'm going to put that right in front of that other ear. Give that a little compression. Ooh la la. Well, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? We need whiskers on this one too, huh? I suppose. I suppose so. I mean, we got the moose mane out. Somewhat. Let's go 2 and 4. We'll do that same thing. We'll do a pair on either side. Alright, we're going to go for the big whiskers again. Oh, this is too much fun. I just want to make sure we get those close to the same length. Alright, well, I guess that's what it is. Here we go. Oh, we lost one. Oh well. I think we're just going to leave it at that for now. You know what? I can't just leave it. I have to add that other whisker. How's this for length? That'll work. It's too big. All right. Yeah, forget it. I'm done. All right. That gets one whisker. That one gets the other two. So that's the deer hair mouse times two. We got one in one out in size 6. So, I'm not the greatest at spinning deer hair mice. I definitely need to practice. But I really don't fish them that often, so I really don't need a million of them. But that's what it is. So we're going to go ahead and just wrap this up. Let's switch our camera over to here. Here we go. All right, so next week, I don't know what we're gonna tie, but we'll tie something. Tell you that for free. And as we move on, next week, who knows what we're gonna do? I don't know. We'll do something. So that'll be what? Today's the 5th. That'll be the 12th. We got a live stream again this Monday. Monday at, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Time. Be sure to tune in. Also, we'll do this again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, 6 o'clock. All right, thank you all for tuning in. Stay healthy, everybody. Stay safe. Happy tying, and yeah, sure you betcha. Tight lines. Peace.